But so it's funny. Well, what can we do is just buy quality. But it varies so much because we were getting really good mangoes the other day from a limping market, and then buy them a week later they just couldn't eat them. So fruit's very, very inconsistent, especially if you're traveling around or eating a lot of calories from fruits, even though fruit's the best. But dates and bananas are generally pretty consistent. But once you eat a lot of fruit, you work out what's good and what's not. Craig, question. Have I ever been in a flash mob? No. No. What is a flash mob? Yep. Really?
Are you going to start it off now?
A bit like this. Really?
Go, girls.
Go, Craig!
That was awesome.
That was quite a surprise.
Guys even let them as well. I'm so impressed.
Flash mob. That's pretty cool.
Maybe next year, Harley, huh?
Maybe next year.
See Harley's moves. I've never seen them.
I'll have to hire a
seen
hologram to
dance.
dance for me. Alright. Well, that was good. That was good fun. So has that been done yet? At the... When was that? Today? Nice. What are the locals thinking? Did you have the system? Wow. Yeah. They would have been tripping out. That's pretty cool. Let's put this on. All right. No, it's good. That was good stuff. That was good. A positive little breather there. All right, I'll just move this block over here. All right, next question. Michael Jackson song, Thriller.
Next flash mob.
That was so good. So random. Hi.
I'm going to go wilderness hiking. What do you suggest I carry if I need to carry 5 days of food?
Dried bananas. Those little baby dried bananas. They're good.
Wilderness hiking, what's the best food to carry? What, in Thailand or back in the US?
In the US, yeah.
Yeah, back in the US. Just, I reckon dates are great, dried bananas, maybe some dehydrated peas or something like that. So those little freeze-dried peas are cool to snack on. They're lightweight. They take up a bit of volume, but they're lightweight and they're tasty. Water, depending where you're going.
Take the pits out, how the dates?
Yeah, less weight, for sure. That's what I'd take. I'd just take dates, really. Yeah, dehydrated foods, like all the campers, backpackers use, and just water. Dehydrated stuff would be good. Probably not watermelon. Or watermelon. Oranges can travel well though for fresh food, and they compost well, and the animals love them. That's what I'd take, and make sure you got proper sleeping equipment, proper clothing for the elements. You probably already know that anyway. But yeah, just at least 5,000 calories a day.
Times 5. It's a lot,
Yeah. Yeah. This guy walked across Australia one time, unsupported, 100% unsupported, wouldn't accept food from anybody, 100% self-sufficient, and he just had like this thing that went around his waist, and he walked along with it, just pulling it along, and that's pretty epic. I think, what was it called? Who knows what I'm talking about? The guy walked across Australia. John Moore, was it? Yeah, with his dog, and the dog ate some fox bait and died. Alone across Australia, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Might be on YouTube.
So is he pulling a trailer?
He was pulling a trailer, but then the trailer broke because of the mud, and he had to carry the backpack, and
He was depressed the whole time.
yeah, he was struggling a lot.
It's a very positive journey. Really.
He
And he was eating crap
he lost a lot of weight.
and a whole lot of junk.
Thank you.
Who's in that movie? Was it called Alone into the Wilderness, or what was it called?
Into the wilderness.
Into the Wilderness?
Into the world.
Into the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, the true story of the, what's his name again? Yeah, that's Chris McCandles. Where he kills the moose in his diary, the way that he said he wrote down, that's the worst thing I ever did. Biggest mistake of my life, killing the moose. And then he got, good. Who hasn't seen Into the Wild? It's a good movie. It's based on a true story. Into the Wild. Saw it about 8 years ago.
Come on, you got questions. Mary always has a question.
Is there a fruit that helps with sprained injuries? Not really. How'd you sprain your ankle? push bike? Bicycle or? Yeah. What footwear were you wearing? Just sandals? Flip-flops? Okay, well, that's good. Could have been worse if you weren't, because you might have cut your foot open.
Well, the body heals the body, so it's important to, give it as much energy as possible. So as little energy going towards like digestion and as much towards healing as possible. So whatever's the most easily digested fruit, heaps of water, rest, and that's going to give the healing a lot of energy. So mangoes.
Early nights, whatever fruit you like. To catch up on academic stuff when you can't do physical stuff. You'll be right in a few days. Just take it easy. A girl crashed the other week in Australia, smashed out some of her front teeth, apparently needed plastic surgery for her chin and jaw. She had a yoga mat on her handlebars, and the yoga mat flipped into her spokes and just whoosh over the bars, and her face just hit the tarmac. So don't carry anything on your handlebars. I see some people have a shopping bag with some bottles in it, so swinging on the handlebars, just ready to go in the spokes and lock up the front wheel, and just send you hurtling over the bars. I know because I've done it, but luckily I didn't smash my teeth out. I chipped my teeth, but I didn't smash them out. I didn't need to go to hospital. But I learned pretty quickly, anything on your handlebars is a risk for your health. You just swing right into the spokes. So best bet is have it on your back, or have it on a trailer or a pannier bag. Not on your handlebars. Buddy. Yeah, I'll try a launchy. Alright.
And also, rather than have the helmet on your handlebars, wear it on your head. I see that so much.
Well, at least your handlebars will be safer.
What's the use?
Must be expensive handlebars. Not bad.
Hey. How do we find this lifestyle?
Yeah,
raw pleasure. I was searching around the internet and I was really sick, I was overweight, I was depressed, and I was just at my wit's end. So I'm searching around the internet. I actually came across a raw food forum in America, I think it was called rawfood.com, and they were just totally writing off Doug Graham. Okay, let's go. Like, this guy's an idiot, he says you can eat all the fruit you want, and I'm like, I can eat all the fruit I want? So I was like so excited about that. And so I researched Doug and 80-10-10, and that's basically how I found the lifestyle, through someone hating on him, which is pretty interesting. That's like the short story.
For me, I went vegan in 2001, and I read an article written by Mango Wozdak, the fruitarian guy, and he's talking about just fruits and stuff like that. And then I read a few books by Ross Horn, and in 2002, read a raw food book by Paul Nisson, and in that book he had an interview with Doug Graham, and started conversing with Doug by email in 2003, and went from there. And then we went full scale from promoting Doug like anyone else to like just totally just trying to tear him down. But no, just basically just
speaking the truth,
being transparent and sharing the truth, because we felt we had built his empire up so much, and then so many people were putting trust in Doug because of our recommendation. We wanted to make it 100% crystal clear that we no longer recommended his fasting clinic or some of his other behaviours.
Yeah, no way.
So we felt responsible for that. So
not when people can die at his hands.
We also wanted to shed the other side of the coin as well. But we never worked for Doug. We never received a cent from Doug. We never expected a cent. He helped us out a lot at the start for sure.
Well, I had to pay for it. So.
Okay, you had to pay. Actually, I did too.
And I got a sentence.
Come to think of it. Yeah. But I think when someone gets more money and fame, sometimes people will start with pure intentions, but the money and fame comes in, it can change a lot of people. Definitely, I've seen that a lot. In this community. Give it a name, give it money, give it a fame. It's full on. But we'll live and learn. So in January, February, I made a video trash talking my friend Mike Arnstein, saying I want to beat his marathon time. How's that going? Yeah, I'm running twice a week, doing about 15 kilometres a week. So yeah, I'm on track. Will it happen this year? We'll soon find out.
How many Ks do you think you'd be needing to do to beat him?
Like at least 50 kilometres a week. to run a sub 2:30 marathon.
Because Michael was running like 130 or something.
Yeah, but Michael, he wasn't doing cycling either, so we'll see. Talk. Got to talk it up sometimes. He got a bit of an injury, but now he's coming back into it. But yeah, that's the thing. When you just rely on running, it's just a matter of time before we're going to get an injury. Because the body's not designed to run, sub 2:30 marathon. Really, it's just pretty full on the body, and that training on the hard tarmac.
And plus, like, trying to maintain a normal, family life and work. Like, he works so much.
If Mike Arnstein had our lifestyle, he'd probably run a 2:14 marathon. I reckon.
We have a lot of rest.
He'd definitely be running sub 2:20 for sure on our lifestyle. Just because I lived with Mike for a few months, so I saw what he was juggling, and that's pretty heavy stuff.
He has 3 kids. He works like 10 hours a day. It's amazing.
Epic.
Yeah, runs to and from work. It's amazing.
He doesn't anymore because he got a pretty bad injury from overuse, but he's still got the drive. Mary?
What would you say is the reason why McDougall doesn't promote fruits? Or I think I heard you say that you already wrote him about it. And what exactly did he answer?
Why doesn't Dr. McDougall promote fruit as much as we do? What was his answer when I emailed him? He finds that starches are easy for people to get. I agree. Most people like to eat pasta and rice and pizza and stuff like that. I agree. Basically, patient compliance. If you're going to give a program out there, the people actually have to be able to do it.
He also believes we're starchivores.
And he believes,
exactly.
And I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I agree starch is good food, but I think fruit is definitely a better one. But if you combine the two, you get the best of both worlds.
What's his biggest argument that we are starchivores?
Well, physiology doesn't show that at all, that we're starchivores. So I'm not sure where he gets that from.
What's his argument that we are?
What's McDougall's argument that we are starchivores? I think he just references successful societies. Which is true, because if you have a tribe, let's say we have the best tribe, and the best tribe's running on bananas, and I disagree with the best tribe, so I'll go over there and just like ring bark all the banana trees, and then he comes over to my rice field, and I'm like, hey, I've already picked all my rice, too bad, and I'm waving at him from the rice mountain. My tribe's going to win because we've got calories, and now the best tribe, I'm going to say, all right, you guys come over here and eat rice, or you're going to starve in the river. So that's, in society, when you have a war against the tribe, wars is just part of society, the disagreements, whatever, politics, hierarchy. So starches you can save. Fruit. Yeah.
Also, in history, like tribes lived on starches, right, rather than fruit.
It's just more dependable.
Availability, it doesn't mean our physiology is suited for it.
Yeah, but what's done for so long doesn't mean it's always the best.
2015, we can do it.
So what did he say when you said, okay, for some, like, did he tell you that you are fine to eat fruit because you're healthy or anything?
No, he just said, if it's working for you, mate, keep going. He didn't really seem too interested in changing 30 years of his teachings, because
we support him too.
Yeah, we promote Dr. McDougall more than anyone else on the planet.
People to be vegan.
We promote Dr. McDougall more than he does himself.
Yeah.
Because why? Because we have such a big social media base.
I think we actually got the hashtag on Instagram going, Starch Solution.
Yeah, we got it going.
Like a lot of girls jumped onto it from RawTill4, so we got it started. We have promoted him a lot. Yeah, and that's fine, as long as they're vegan, high carb vegan.
Getting out there. And then the people who hated on us, they promoted Starch Solution even more. So it's all good,
Yeah, but a lot of people go to Starch Solution, then they come back to RawTill4, and then they call it something else.
It's win-win.
One last, so is he like literally against fruit, or does he just not, mention it so much?
Is McDougall against fruits? Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. He just doesn't even focus on it. He's just like, what can anybody in the world do? Anyone can do rice.
Yeah, that's true.
Rice is the cheapest calorie on the planet that you can actually eat a meal of. Rice, nothing comes close.
Yeah.
He's not against fruit. It's just a quantity.
I had the impression when reading his book.
Sometimes he says don't eat more than 2 pieces a day.
Thing,
In his Starch Solution book, I think it's page 75, he says don't eat more than 2 pieces of fruit a day or whatever. Yeah. I got a liquid paper pen and painted that over. I wrote 30bananasadaday.com. So whoever gets my copy of Starch Solution will we'll get a different message. When I was like, before YouTube days, I'd go to the library and just graffitiing books with websites. You know, get a paleo book, cross it out, you know, go vegan, blah, blah, blah. Because that's vandalism, so that's just a book, man. Just a piece of paper.
Personally, I don't know how people can do starch solution. Okay, like I'm happy if they do, but I need my fruit. I love it.
It's not fresh.
Yeah, it's just so fresh. I feel so fresh. But, you know, you do what you can, as long as you're staying vegan, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But we are frugivores, and we're designed to have a certain amount of fruit, sugar and fibre in our diets every single day, and if we don't get that, we're not going to be truly our best.
Yeah.
So, it's a choice.
Well, sorry, Craig, is Brandon here with his sunglasses? Brandon? Did you find your sunnies yet? Who picked up Brandon's sunglasses yesterday? The black ones? You got them?
Paul's got them.
All right.
Not Paul.
It's Brandon, the white shirt. He's got them. You see him? All right, you guys can unite and good stuff. Also, quickly, there's a water bottle. Whose water bottle is this one? It's yours? All right, we were cleaning the toilet last night, and that's all good.
Oh, you used it as a toilet.
Craig.
This bottle.
Freelee, what do you say to an overweight person who's been on this lifestyle for a while, and then all of a sudden they started losing weight quite quickly, like maybe even too quick?
So they're still on the lifestyle and they start losing weight quite quickly. All of a sudden, like how much would you say? Like, so they've been steadily gaining weight. Oh no, okay then.
But I mean, like over say like a year and a half, and then all of a sudden, say like
So what would I say to a person who has been on the lifestyle, who is overweight, and they've like for a year and a half they've been on the lifestyle, and they suddenly start losing weight rapidly? 30 kilos in 4 weeks. 13. Well, it depends on what size they're at. Yourself. Yeah. Well, what are you doing differently?
Cocaine.
You're snorting, aren't you? No, we're just kidding. Lots of flash mobbing. Is that what it's called?
Juice, hey?
Oh, there we go. He's on the juice. The truth comes out. No, so have you increased your exercise? Well, if you're hitting the juice a lot, you're likely under eating. So you're having the same calories. Juice isn't really the same as eating whole food. Counting. It could be. You could gain again if you go back to eating whole foods. Maybe. But you could be at a stage where you're just like, your body is ready to drop the weight.
Because you've been on the lifestyle for a while now.
It's been a year and a half.
Yeah, things happen.
And you're fitter. You're fitter now, right? Yeah.
You look fitter than last year. You look like you'd ride a bike now.
Just don't depend on the juice, though. Don't depend on the juice, or it might become like a juice feasting situation where you gain weight back again. That can definitely happen.
But because your lifestyle's pretty consistent now, say for you it's going to be like, with your weight, it's up and down like that over time, like the stock market.
Carbs up.
It's not like that. It's never like that. It's just floating down.
I think you've lost weight since I saw you. Like, like 3 hours ago. Must be that.
It's just
Thailand is very cleansing as well.
It's like my running times. I didn't do anything different with my running times, but my marathon time went from like 3:13 down to 2:48 on the same mileage. But it was just accumulated. My body became more efficient at running. My shins got stronger. I could handle the impact more. But if you look at on the Strava, the volume didn't really change. But my body just adapted to it. Just like if you've got a pot of boiling water, you put it on the stove, turn it on to 100 Celsius, and you stand back, nothing's happening. You just kick the pot off the stove and go, what the fuck's, But if you leave it on the pot, it gets to 99 Celsius, nothing's happening. You kick it off again. Only when we live to 100% Celsius, the water starts to boil. So often people don't leave the pot on the stove top long enough. because they're in a society, they look over their friends, the pot's boiling over. They're poking their pot and they're just like trying to buy a different pot. But every time they take the pot off to put a new pot on, or a new diet, or a new thing, it's just like they lose momentum. So it's just time in the program. But if you could give, imagine if we could do like body swaps for a TV show, you know, so we could just like press a button and just transform, and you give someone's body to Paul, the cyclist, you know, or me, or someone else, or Freelee, or whatever. And just our food, our lifestyle, our training philosophies. It's just boom. It's crazy what results would happen.
Yeah, so many people jump off the lifestyle before they get the results. Like, they're getting there, they're doing well, they're eating enough, you know, they're feeling great. They even say they're feeling great, but it's all about the number on the scales. And then you see them jump to another diet, and it's like, oh, we're so close.
Yeah.
That's the way.
It's just time. It's like YouTube, it's time.
Took me years.
Some people got a bit more of a head start maybe than others, but end of the day, it's still time. And then the longer they're on something, the more results come, negative or positive. Like, I can start smoking cigarettes again today. Not much will happen, but fast forward 5 years down the track, my aerobic capacity is going to be declined. But I could smoke cigarettes for every day this week. People say, oh wow, Harley's smoking cigarettes, he seems to be healthy, ride the bike up the hill, all right? But they don't fast forward 5 years. So these girls in the calories, seen this program, 1600 calories a day. Let's fast forward in 2 or 3 years. Are we going to see a massive demographic of 16 to 25-year-old women with metabolic damage? That's a question. That's not a statement. That's a question. In case the judge is watching this video. That's a question, Your Honour. And so, yeah. Is that, will that happen? Just soon find out. And, yeah.
More questions.
What is my cadence in bed?
How do you measure that?
With my hand or freely?
Oh, geez.
What's the music track? What position? Am I undercarbed or carbed up? It's an it depends question. Too many
You need to
variables
play
there.
some music next time. Work it out. Put the power meter on.
Strap on the heart rate. Hit 180 beats a minute.
Just for you.
Zelda. Tips for improving your posture.
Draw your belly button in. As you'll notice, I'm never like, well, if I do become like this, I'm pretty quick to right myself up. Just be really conscious of it. Keep your chest up, belly button drawn in. Just practice all the time, all day. I do that, and on the bike, I'm always thinking about it. Although when you're on the bike, it's like that. But
The bike's different a
I'm
bit.
still
but
thinking of posture all the time. Just be very conscious of it. You're good at it now. Yoga is really good for posture. I did Ashtanga yoga for 8 years consistently, and that helped my posture a heap. Gymnastics when I was younger, gymnastics is great. Yeah.
What's the difference between white refined sugar and, say, fruit sugar, coconut, whatever sugar?
You're the sugar man.
What's the difference between sugars in the white refined packet or the fruit or the coconut sugar? Generally vitamins and minerals. Pure white sugar doesn't have much in it other than sugar. Coconut sugar has a bit more nutrition in there.
Yeah, a lot.
Sugar in the actual fruit has the fibre and things like that. Sugar in the juice, not much fibre in here, but just vitamins and minerals. You can see it's got colour. Can't even see through it. So the difference between sugars is just the bonus you get with it. So if you add white refined sugar to your fruit smoothie, no worries. But if you just try and live on white sugar and water, you have energy, but eventually you have vitamin C deficiencies or vitamin B deficiencies. But no one's going to live on white sugar and water that I've seen, unless there's... But if you go to hospital, what they give you drip, just glucose and minerals. So sugar's fine. It's what people have with the sugar. It's like the ice cream, the dairy, or the whey protein, or the Big Mac, things like that. So sugar's fine. Otherwise, if it wasn't, we'd be obese by now. We'd be struggling.
How does the deficiency feel like?
What does a deficiency feel like? Depends what deficiency one's talking about. Glucose deficiency, you just be sort of struggling to get up the mountain. You're just like, really struggling.
I think we've all had that one.
If your grandma went past you, she goes, "Come on, slacker," you couldn't do nothing about it. I remember doing a bike ride one time. I ran out of sugars, and it was like a fun ride. And we caught up to the people who were doing a 15-kilometre ride. And I'm going up this last little hill. I'm just like, could hardly see. And a 65-year-old lady or so come past me on a hybrid bike, just flying past me. And I literally could not do anything about it. My ego was like so crushed. I was just like, I've got plenty of 60-year-old friends who are really fit, but I couldn't respond at all. That was a glucose deficiency in the moment. And once I got some fruit into me, some sugars into me, I was back to normal. But it's going to be pretty toasted. Vitamin C deficiency, bleeding gums, bad skin, things like that. Look it up, just Google up. Iron deficiency, just can't get out of bed.
Gordon? I'm not surprised you have something like that.
How much sex do we have a week? Probably 4 times a day. It's an it depends question. I don't think there's anyone on the planet who goes, I have sex on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3:30 p.m. Let's pencil it in. I think if they did, it'd be pretty boring sex life. When you got I've had a vasectomy, you just fuck your brains out whenever you want. No pill, no condoms, no temperature measuring, none of that IUD toxic stuff, just go for it.
Baby, for a start.
So it depends, if someone's had a vasectomy, it's going to be a lot different to someone who's on, whatever. So, as much as you want, whenever you want.
Encouragement for the guys out there?
Get a vasectomy.
What's that? Too much.
When you're sore. So I'm riding a bike. When it's sore to ride, have a break.
Sore to ride.
Or use a different thing, or whatever.
Substitute thing. Hey.
Worst cycling crash you've ever been in? Worst cycling crash I ever had was 2003 for me. 2003, 2004. I was riding out of my bike shop I worked at. I just opened the door, sitting on my bike, and ride out of the shop and launch onto the footpath down to the fruit shop. And the council would change the pavement out front of our shop on the weekend. So it was a Monday morning, Monday lunchtime, and there's a massive gap out front of our shop. So I used to just hook this corner, just, hundreds of times, and my front wheel hooked into this new gap that was there. It wasn't there last on Friday. And my front wheel locked. I went over the bars, just pile drived into the concrete, smashed my helmet, cut my face open, bruised one of my ribs. Yeah, that's the worst crash I've ever had. Going at maybe 2k an hour, over the bars, face into the concrete. I've crashed at 60k an hour with not much damage at all. Freelee, your worst crash, you were going pretty slow.
My worst crash was the second day. Well,
15k an hour. You slowed up pretty.
I was going along a bit.
I'll say 15, 20.
It was the second day on a road bike, so I hadn't ridden a bike really since I was like 10 years old. And I was trying to do some sort of like mountain bike move or something up onto the pavement. And I didn't understand the thin tires at all. And I jumped up onto the pavement and it kind of slid. It just went like that, and the chain ring chopped into my ankle here. So I've got a massive scar here, and the fat tissue came up, and it was horrible. And you saw it, and you're like, it was the worst injury you've seen.
Worst crash I'd ever seen.
Second day on the road bike.
I'd lay down, it was so much blood and gruesomeness.
And it took a long time to heal.
No stitches.
Just because there was such a big chunk. Yeah, I didn't want stitches, I wanted my body to heal it. In hindsight, I should have got stitches because the healing process was really pretty painful.
You didn't need stitches, but probably from an aesthetic point of view.
I think I needed stitches for the healing though.
Might have sped it up a bit.
Yeah, close it over because the scab kept getting like soggy in a shower and then it'd fall off and we'd go through that
We were
cycle.
camping out at the time as well. We were camping in a tent in the bush. So that's a testimony to the lifestyle. We took no antibiotics, no tetanus shot, nothing. Gouged it on a greasy chain ring.
But
no worries.
The bizarre thing I did actually is the next day...
or a few days later. Well,
What
about a
does
week
it
later.
say?
No, we
couple
went
of days
riding
later.
for about a week.
Yeah, I ran into a pole. It was like the only pole for like 200 meters. I managed to run straight into it, and the chain ring then went into like below the scab and made 2 more like scars, really deep scars. So it wasn't the best start on the road bike, but then about a month later, a couple of months later, I rode across Australia, so it didn't scare me off.
The biggest way to avoid any bicycle crash or any crash whatsoever is just paying attention. Always just be paying attention. That's the main cause of a crash is people just not paying attention. Dehydrated or undercarbed or overconfident, and you crash. So you can avoid 99.9% of crashes by just paying more attention. Definitely. When you turn your hand out, don't grab the brake too hard. Type 2 diabetes. 100%. Can people with type 2 diabetes start a Fruitarian or RawTill4 or McDougall lifestyle? 100%. We've seen people reverse type 2 diabetes clinically with Fruitarian, RawTill4 or McDougall. But again, most people would be like, I don't want to change my diet. You just Google it up.
The fat content, the fat in the blood. Yeah,
Any
it's all about
experienced
fat.
diabetic will be able to measure their blood sugars, and then before you're using insulin, you'll be able to measure your sugars and go, wow, my sugars are a lot lower. So I don't need as much units of insulin. So obviously any experienced diabetic will know what's going on pretty quickly. Within a few days of cutting out all overt fats, all animal products, no nuts, seeds, no oil, they'll see some definitely changes in their blood sugar values over a few days. Throw in a bit of cardio, a bit of cycling around, get rapid results for type 2 diabetic. And type 1 diabetics, they will see a rapid improvement in hemoglobin A1C levels, the H1AC level, for sure. I've seen it. But again, it's rare someone wants to change their diet, unfortunately.
We got a question.
Myself, yeah. And the question is, I started thinking what I'm supposed to do with the leftovers, like
Leftover needles or leftover ampules?
yeah, everything. What should I do with that?
Leftover needles, you can just put them in a drink bottle and drop them out at the hospital. In the toilet there. They should have a sharps disposal in it.
Not good idea to
Unless the marina inn wants to thinking there's 100 junkies staying at their hotel.
That's a good question, actually.
Leave your syringes in the hotel room so the cleaner comes in. Well, it's another junkie fest. So
But even putting it in a normal bin is quite dangerous.
you don't want to ever put a needle in the bin. Because imagine if you're that garbage worker. Obviously, none of us here have probably got any real issues, but imagine you're a garbage worker and you grab that garbage bin and then you get like a 1-inch needle goes straight up in the middle of your finger, hits your bone. You got not only you got massive pain, but you also got that, hang on, is this a HIV thing or a Hep C or what's going on here, So to be responsible, never throw your needles in the bin. Or I gather them up and dispose of them at a hospital or whatever, pharmacy.
obviously I'm not gonna use, I bought like 10 of them, I'm not gonna use one of them. Do you think I can fly back to, for example, to UK?
I doubt it.
I mean, you can if you keep them cool. It's just vitamins.
Oh, are they going to let them in?
Yeah, they should let them in. But again, they're going to, you can just declare them if you've got an issue with that.
I doubt they'll let that in.
But you can just, when are you going back? Yeah, you could do another 3 or 4 shots till then. Just load up a bit. It's alright.
It's probably in Thai, and they probably don't know what it is.
No, it's in English. It's in the English language.
It's in English.
Yeah. But the UK is pretty lax. They're pretty relaxed with steroids and vitamins. And no worries, yeah. Australia's the strictest. But yeah, I mean, steroids in the UK like very, pretty legal compared to Australia. Australia's the tightest. You do right. Yeah, just use a few more while you're here. Shoot up. Yeah, just dispose your needles. Just pretend you're the garbage workers.
I have one friend that's type 1 diabetic
Mm.
and has Crohn's, and she had a lot of problems eating on a vegetarian diet. The doctors told her that the vegetables burnt a hole through one of her intestines, so she had to get part of it removed. So now she's back on. She had to start eating meat again, apparently, and then now she's back on the vegetarian. But she wants to eventually go vegan. I'm wondering if you have any advice.
Give up the pass. Give up the pass.
Yeah.
I mean, fruitarian diet is a great little cleanse for people like that. Yeah, especially if she's a hardcore athlete. Yeah, I mean, so fruitarian diet is really good for sedentary people.
We're talking about type 1 diabetics. Right now.
And just tell her to get in contact with Robbie Barbaro. Robbie Barbaro on YouTube. Just type in type 1 diabetic fruit diet into YouTube. And Robbie Barbaro, he's pretty approachable. You know.
And the connection between dairy and type 1 diabetes, like in just blood
Well,
sugar
she's already got it
levels.
now. She's already got type 1.
Yeah, I mean just how it affects type 1 diabetes and the blood sugar levels and how dairy affects it. It's just nasty.
So a type 1 diabetic can spend about an hour now watching YouTube videos of other type 1 diabetics making vegan changes or fruit changes and get some pretty good info, for sure. Tell her to Google up if she's serious. Definitely.
Do you guys have any favorite inspirational quotes, or maybe words to live by, something like that?
Any favourite inspirational quotes?
Peace if possible, truth at all costs. MLK, Martin Luther King.
Don't fruit yourself, eh?
Go
Go
fruit
fruit
yourself.
yourself.
Cover the fuck up.
There's a lot. Who we are speaks so loudly no one can hear a word we're saying. Just by our very presence, the teachings are transferred.
Do
Shut
what
the
you
fuck
love.
up.
Do what you love what you do, because those who matter do not mind, and those who mind do not matter. It's a little bit of a twist on that one. Dr. Seuss.
It's easier to fool people than convince them they've been fooled. Most people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed.
Be the change you want to see in others, in the world.
Integrity is when you know what's behind the curtain and you no longer pretend you don't know what is behind that curtain. It's hard to convince someone about something when their income depends on them not being convinced about something. Like a doctor who is there to give the meat diet or the insulin or whatever, that's their income. If they don't want to be convinced otherwise, because that affects their income, because now they know the truth. So a lot of people want to deny it and go, don't tell me, because if I get that, I'll have to change, I don't want to change. They tell me, shush, get out of here, you're crazy. Because they don't want to know, because their income depends on that. And they want to be able to sleep at night. And they're the doctors who, when they find it out, they go, shit, I've got to change everything. Or other doctor might just go, give me more Xanax. You know, give me more cocaine.
Yeah, we had this question the other day.
Where do we see ourselves in 5 years'
10
time?
years the other day.
Someone, a well-known lawyer, recently said to me, I'll be shot in the face dead.
Stop saying that, will you?
Where do we see? Where I see myself in 5 years? Just more YouTube. YouTube's our tour, really. We tour on YouTube. We travel in every single country that has the internet pretty much every day. I'm assuming we do anyway.
I would love to.
We've already been there a few times, so no real plans, but not ruling it out.
I'd love to put a RawTill4 meal planner and book out and have it become just world famous, you know, New York bestseller, all the celebrities start jumping on RawTill4. That would be awesome to see that over the next 5 years. That would be incredible. The world would change. My mum. Yeah, mum coined the term RawTill4. What's that?
No, we sued her.
Yeah, I'll be looking after her.
We got her to sign a non-disclosure form. I want the best lawyer. I use Kaylee Eatstein's lawyer. And it cost me an arm and a leg. Harry. What do we do on long rides?
The bush.
What do we do on long rides when you go take a shit? I just go and find the bushes. I normally carry some toilet paper with me or use a water bottle.
Water bottle's good. Just
But I remember going on tour one time in 1998. I rode to Melbourne and I was like, oh, I've got to find a toilet, you know, need to go poo-poo. And I was just busting, I was holding on for like 50 Ks. You know, this is stupid. It's like going crap like the bears do. Crap like the koalas and kangaroos do. You know? So yeah.
You even have like a special pee technique, like a public pee technique.
Oh yeah, just like a stretch. You just turn your back, unzip, and you normally,
people are walking past.
normally get your phone out like that. Because people always look where your hands are, right? So if you're standing like that, if you've got your hand on your head and on your phone, because it's just on his phone. People want to believe what they're seeing. So let them believe what they're seeing.
Or you can do a Victoria Arnstein and just drop your pants in the middle of Hyde Park. Is it Hyde Park?
Central Park.
Central Park in New York City. Just drop them and have everyone...
Gotta go. Paula Full Natty Bra Ratcliffe, when she set the women's world record of like 2:14 or whatever it was, she had a crap and 2 peas during the marathon. She didn't use a porta potty. She had like motorbike camera on the whole time. Just on YouTube, she stops.
The whole like crowd was like...
Pulls her knickers aside, has a crap, and then 10 minutes later has another pee and another pee.
That was in front of hundreds of people.
She would have been on so much stimulants that day. Her body was just flushing everything out. But she won the London Marathon and set the world record.
That was brave.
Just gotta do what you gotta do.
But I mean, like, it was right where the people were standing.
Yeah, everyone's
like,
cheering.
Right
Paula!
She drops it right there.
Oh, imagine that, your home marathon, everyone's chanting your name, you're winning the marathon, you're going to set a world record, they're like, Paula! And then you stop, and they're like, oh wow, she's going to like say good day. And she's just like, pulls it up and runs off.
And people all stood back, they're like...
So it's all about priorities, and she had a goal. She says, I'm going to take so much drugs, I'm going to risk a heart attack, and I'm going to run the world's fastest ever marathon ever. And it's been like 12 years or something, no one's beaten it. The EPO Kenyans can't even touch it. So she risked everything. She risked life, death, public humility to do what it took. So she had a strong goal. Strong game that day. How much would you pay for a vasectomy in Thailand? You can see Dr. Anarupunamalap at the local clinic. He works on dogs.
Be serious,
but occasionally does a backpacker. I think it's about $10 or something. I heard his scalpel's a bit rusty, but he does an angle grind. He can sort of clean it back a bit. Now I don't know how much it costs to have a vasectomy in Thailand. Depends where you go. 600 baht.
50 Ks north of here. There you go.
Yeah, so
take a tuk-tuk out there.
So talk with Craig.
Done in a day.
You know. But just do your homework on vasectomies and make sure that's what you want to do. If you do want to save $250,000 by not raising one more child, you know, do you want to have a child-free lifestyle, double income, no kids, be a dink? You got to understand what do you want. You know, what's the lifestyle do you want? Do you want us a lifestyle, just come and go, whatever, carefree, sleep when you want, whatever? So you just got to choose what you want. Do your homework. But don't let anyone tell you not to do it. Does your body do what you want? But I had a vasectomy 10 years ago now. For me, my lifestyle, best thing ever. For 600 baht, I'll have a go. No, but it's just like cutting spaghetti. If you can cut spaghetti with scissors, you'll be alright. The good thing is, what you want to do when you get a vasectomy, the hot tip is find a surgeon who has got a bit of experience. You know, you don't want to find a surgeon. You go, can you do a vasectomy? He goes, oh, I did that once in med school. Yeah, we'll have a crack. You want to find someone who's like, that's what they do. That's their specialty, chopping nuts, the nut chopper.
So who would that be here in Chiang Mai?
Who would that be in Chiang Mai? I don't know. You'd have to do your homework. Talk with people. I'd spend a week. If I was going to give a vasectomy, I'd spend a week researching who's the best. Who's the best guy in town? And I'd pay more if that was required. But it's a very, very simple operation. Very, very simple operation.
So you get your nuts chopped off.
They cut your nuts off, send them off to China.
You're not really like
3D printing, coming back. No, all it is your vas deferens, like a little tube about that long. It just gets cut, cauterized, dropped back in. Easy done. Easy done. Measure. Excellent question. What advice would we give to someone who's on the lifestyle but they want to speed the weight loss up, so they're sort of calorie restricting, so they want to catch up? Well, I would say that person, all you're doing is you're setting yourself backwards, really, because you're still training your body, eat less, eat less. Yeah.
It's that whole diet mentality, whole calorie restriction. Yeah, they're just going to get fatter.
So
I'm just going to tell them they're going to get fatter.
What we say is don't eat less, just do more in life. So that you can restrict calories by not eating less and just sitting around losing fitness, or you can burn some extra fat by eating more calories so you can actually get something done, like nature and design. You know, nature designed it that way. So eat more and do more, versus eat less and then try and move more.
And shift your
but
focus.
that never works.
Shift the focus from...
People are afraid of McDonald's.
Afraid of what?
The people who are afraid of it, it's a bit like people who keep shopping with a credit card and live in denial they have to pay it back one day. No, like, I just pay my Visa and like it just magically like, no, don't, creditors. You know, it's like, some people live in fairy tale world. And they hop from diet to diet, and then eventually they're so burnt out.
Get a life.
They're so burnt out, eventually they come over lifestyle and go, okay, the body just wants to eat. And they just eat. And they put on some weight, like the body wants to do. And then some people embrace that and move on with that and get the results. And then a small minority go, yeah, like, I want something for free. Like, this is not good enough, you know. Like,
They essentially have to get a life.
get a life.
You know, if their focus is the scales and excess fat, excess weight, they have to get a life, get real purpose in life.
I mean, everyone likes to feel lean and fit.
But you got to work for it.
You got to work
you
for
do
it.
have to work for it.
In the right direction.
It's just...
In the right direction. So I recommend paying via cash versus credit card.
And remember, and just remind them that they might just be at that point where they're going to get those results.
That their pot of water might be at 98 degrees Celsius.
And they pull back and they miss out.
And then they just go, no, it's 98, 99, nah.
Back into that whole
Boom.
cycle.
Back to
for the rest
Khalid
of their
signs.
life.
Knocking on Khalid Sign's door on a rainy Monday night at 3 a.m. with a meat cleaver. I want to lose more calories. I want to lose some weight. I just came from Freelee Banana Girl's house. What do I do? I'm desperate. One more question, we'll go to dinner. Oh, Ava? Yep, yeah, you had a question.
Who is that? So you just stayed the same for the first year from your previous lifestyle, just stayed the same weight? Have you built muscle? Have you built muscle? Have you got fitter? Are you fitter? That's unusual to gain after a year. By the way, you look amazing. I'm just going to say that. You do look amazing. So that's something to remember as well. Yeah. Your body obviously needed it.
Yeah, if you're doing the right things and your body's going to do it at once. Again, a lot of people can be different because, especially women, maybe they took the contraceptive pill, or maybe you got 5 sisters. Yeah, okay, not in your case, but some people do take the pill for years. So they shut down their HPG access, things like that. Well, you took the pill? Yeah, I mean, the body can store hormones in the fat tissue, and then when we're burning that fat, those hormones can be released back into the system. This is true. You know, this is very true. So,
how do you feel? You feel good? How much weight? How much weight?
3 kilos.
3 kilos? Half a dress size. That could be water.
Could be anything. Hormones. You know, you could
Such a small amount.
hang around some hot guys and your estrogen levels are going up.
Could be that.
The hormones are hormones can change stuff. Like when I did steroids in December, put on 5 kilos in just a couple of weeks. You know. I know, but I'm just saying, like, and then when we use hormones for many years, and they get stored in our fat tissue, some of them can, and then that fat tissue is getting burned off. It's also a factor that can get released back in the bloodstream. So that's why a lot of athletes, you know, in doping control, are always worried.
And you could also be building muscle as well. That can push out your clothing, because the muscle builds under the fat tissue, and it can expand initially, and then you lose the fat later. So that can make you a little bit bigger initially.
Or your muscle can hold more glycogen.
You have a bit of muscle there, right? I can see. Did you though, or did you objectively measure it, or was it just your perception?
So we're the experts. Send us some pictures on Facebook. Send us some objective, good lighting pictures.
Are you training differently as well, or training differently? It's a very small amount, and you're feeling good. You look great. Yeah. Curiosity. Yeah.
The 3 kilos is nothing. Like, you know.
I don't think it's worth your focus at all.
I've seen my weight fluctuate 10 kilos, about 9-10 kilos in 24 hours. I've seen it go from 63 to 73 in 10-11 hours. Yeah. So 3 kilos is nothing. Yeah, I got you. So the
Increased blood volume.
There's so many variables. It'd be more of a case-by-case basis. Has that person ever taken any steroids? Estrogen pill, contraceptive pill, testosterone, etc. Has that person ever restricted calories either by ignorance or just by financial means? They didn't have food or they got busy. There's a lot of variables there. But if I have the person one-on-one, we scrape back their history, you know,
or even be a fly on the wall and live with you for the past year. You know, it's hard to just, you know, we need to be able to see everything so we can take it all into account. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's a bit like Buddy, the coconut tree climber. If you put him in a cage for 2 years and he couldn't climb a tree, and then you released him out of the base of a coconut tree and he climbs up the coconut tree, he's not going to be able to do it very well. But for a couple of months, he'll be back to normal. But you couldn't train someone who's never climbed a coconut tree to be as good as Buddy in a couple of months. You know? That takes years of skill. Years. Potentially.
It may not be that, maybe.
And then
very difficult.
Sometimes people write us, oh, he's fat. And I'm like, send me a photo.
And it's like,
and they're still anorexic. And anorexic, gains 5 kilos, they're fat, they're obese. People write me this, and I used to write back, oh, wow, what's going on? And then after a few years of learning what's going on, I'm like, okay, no more emails until you send me a faceless shot of you standing in some sports clothing. And then I'll be like, okay, I see your gains a bit, okay, whatever. So it depends on the person by person. Depends on the person by person. But there's always a solution, there's always a cause.
Did you want to ask that last question? You're going to have to be louder though.
Just get aggressive.
I've heard you before. You scream. You're like, you're loud.
She's a loud one.
Yeah, you're a loud one.
She's a screamer.
If you go into the past and meet Dr. Atkins, what would you do or say to him?
If we could go in the past and meet Dr. Atkins, what would we do or say to him? I'd do a YouTube video with him.
Fuck up?
I don't know.
That would be the first thing.
Or push him in the lake.
Push him in the lake.
No one's ever asked me that question, I know.
Oh, carve the fuck up for sure.
Depends where I was.
And then
would I get away with murder? I don't know.
give him your book. Print out your book.
Dr. Atkins was a classic example of someone who just saw people as objects of money and goes, what book can I write? He's smoking his cigarettes, eating his bacon eggs, doesn't give a crap about anything. He's going, what can I buy to get some fame, and what can I write to tell people good things about their bad habits? I don't care. The guy was just loose. He was just loose. He was like the scum of the earth. No regard for any animals, of society, nothing, nada. Just preying on preying on people's greed and
now people are
unconscious behaviour.
just revamping Fatkin's diet, and they're just calling it something else.
I quit sugar, paleo diet, primal
It's all Atkins.
Atkins
But
rehash.
it's bad for marketing to call it Atkins because it's got a bit of a bad rap and everything. So let's call it something else, something fresh, and make money off people.
That sugar
you
film.
don't give a shit about.
Craziness. All right. Enjoy dinner. We'll see you tomorrow at
Thanks
7
for
a.m.
coming.
and back here at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank